What is up, everybody? It is Marshall Couture, also known as Plex in hip hop circles. And this is 100 Days of Making Comics, day number 28. How you guys doing? Doing all right? Driving to job number 2. Um, yeah. Today I kind of sort of worked on my comic. It depends on if um, coloring that lizard brain drawing counts as working on my comic. If I can't get to any more other stuff today, then I'm gonna count that. But I don't know. I think once I get to the second job, I might do a little writing real quick, spend a little time doing that, and then I'll probably end up working on the colors for the lizard brain thing some more tonight. Call that working on my comic. Um, Today's been a little odd. Well, it's a long week. And with being a long week, I don't know. I just kind of been in a funk the last couple days, even though I'm still just, plugging in, plugging along, punching the time card in, which I think is important. And that's one thing that I love about these challenges is if you don't feel like doing it, you still got to clock in and clock out. And a lot of times when you start doing it, you get into it. And if I had more time, I would just keep doing it for another hour or so. But unfortunately, I don't have, time at the moment. Although in a little bit of a ways, that's going to change for a few days because I think I'm going to take less hours at my second job just for now. And we'll see. I may either after that, I may increase my hours again as needed, or I might just quit the job. We'll see. It kind of isn't like a huge deal. Like, I don't need the second job technically. But if I want to pay off doctor bills that are way overdue, then I guess I need the second job. um, but, it is what it is. Those bills are going to be there whether I, go crazy on them or not. I don't know. And I'm still going to be able to pay a little off whether I'm going crazy on them or not. So really, I got to sit down and work on my finances and stuff anyways. That being said, so just different things I was thinking about today. I've been thinking a lot about a few items I really need, well, I shouldn't say need. A few items that I want that I think will make life a little better for me as far as not life, but like my creative goals a little more obtainable in a quicker amount of time, I guess, but maybe not in some ways too. But basically, I'd like to get some kind of Wacom tablet so that I can work digitally as well. And I'm doing coloring right now, but it's just like the little mouse pad on the MacBook here. So it takes a lot longer. I mean, the only thing, Wacom time, where I use the thing because I had one a while back, and I was never able to really get used to it that well. But I think that I can. I just need to dedicate time and discipline myself to make it happen. And the way I would probably do that is maybe do a month full of illustrations, like little, I don't know, maybe just do a month where I work on the Wacom tablet for, even 15 minutes a day, I think would help. Or even just working on coloring my own, older comics that I've done, just to get used to it, and also produce something. Speaking about producing something, today I watched the new Jake Parker video. I don't know. I think it's came out today. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. Jake Parker's awesome. If you don't know who he is, then it's crazy that you know who I am because Jake Parker is like internet famous and even maybe a little more beyond that because he's worked on very big properties like Rocky Raccoon and stuff like that, or Rocket Raccoon. Um, and he's worked for different companies, and he's pretty successful at this point. He just recently had a really successful Kickstarter, which I contributed to, and I can't wait to see the book when he's done. Sky Heart, I think it's called. The video was awesome. It was. I don't remember exactly how he worded it, how it was called, but it was basically being working on products versus working on projects or something like that, which in some ways the two are synonymous. In other ways, I see his point, and it was really inspiring, actually. Um, and it mirrors the way I tend to think about all this stuff, but sometimes, get distracted from focusing in that way. And when he says product, it doesn't necessarily mean money. It just means creating something that's finished is basically the way he's defining it. Instead of being, on this perpetual project that never ends, never actually gets created. I mean, sometimes you can't really help that, but, for the most part, that we should be pumping out even small products, whether it's our website or whether it's prints or whatever, or even little books. And he gives a lot of examples. It's pretty cool because not only does he talk about his philosophy, but then he goes into like a dozen different products you can create, and then he tells you how you can go about making those things happen. And obviously everybody's got different opinions and stuff, but I think that the guidelines he uses is pretty darn helpful, and ones that have helped me as well, and ones that I hope I'll be better at utilizing in the future. That being said, the reason why I'm talking about what he was talking about is because I also got a comment on one of my videos from Mike Emmerich, who's also doing 100 Days of Making Comics. And I was kind of, in my video, I was talking about, creating the building that these people are obviously the 12-story building that this whole book is about. And I was starting to get a little bit stuck on feeling like I need to create that building. And, Mike said something to the effect of, don't let this hold you up, if you need to, right past it, this, or he said something like, it sounds like this might be holding you up. Or he said it in a very nice way, for sure. And I appreciate that. And it stuck in my mind. And then once I heard this episode on Jake Parker's YouTube, it was like, it kind of clicked, like, okay, let's reevaluate the situation. I tend to, when I'm working on a project, I start to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and it turns into this huge Goliath that I can't seem to conquer, and then eventually I get frustrated, or I get, analysis paralysis type of deal, and I stop working on it, and then I never finish it. And I need to like write it, tape it to everything that I create with, just like the phrase, finished, not perfect, just like Jake was saying in his video. I got to write that. I just need to constantly be reminded that, it's more important to get stuff done. And then maybe your next, if this project didn't come out 100% how you like it, it's okay. at least you stretched a little and made, and then the next project will be even better. And eventually you might start, creating projects that actually, to a certain extent where your vision is, and I think it's possible to get to that point. I don't think it's possible to get 100% satisfied, like meaning we can always grow more. But we always, a lot of us artists talk about, that, we'll never be, we'll kind of wanting to do better. But I think there's levels of mastery where you can get to where you're like, okay, I'm at a good spot. Like, I like where I'm at. I like the skill level I'm at. I've gotten to those points, before, but at the same time, I can look at 100 other artists quick, the other artists very quickly get discouraged and be like, well, I can't draw mech robots like that dude, and I can't seem to turn this into a cartoon, even though I can draw it realistically, or oh, I can't even draw it as realistic as this person. There's always going to be somebody better than you. So that is actually motivation. Sometimes I get down about it, but I'm trying to learn to be better at letting that be motivation and not letting it be a downer. So that being said, though, I do think you can come to levels of satisfaction as well, and that's not something I hear people say very often. So that being said, as I my when I perfect, I just want to start knocking these things out. And then as I started, as part of it was to learn trace better. As I want to level up with my art skills as well, I start getting into these tutorials and things, and I start listening to these audio books and podcasts about story, and now it's like, okay, far, I guess. So it looks like it says I'm having difficulties with my connectivity, which I'm not surprised, but I've done this before this way. So hopefully you guys aren't losing me here. But, um, but yeah, so I have to realize that is overwhelming, and it's starting to be a little overwhelming. So this video really helped me out a bit more, as like, okay, this needs to get finished at a certain point, because this was, and I didn't do this. Almost, I wanted this project to be something where it's more about learning than pushing out a product. But so projects I want to move on to. I don't want to just be doing this for years and years. I would like this to be done. I mean, he was even saying, you know, don't make them like 6 months good, but don't make these like multiple year long projects, because it's going to be too big, too overwhelming. And that made me think, because I did think this was going to take probably over a year. But it doesn't have to take that long. Um, it really need to like, hem and haw, and I also can make better use of my time, and it is possible for me to spend more time doing this every day, or I might be able to make it possible to do that more often. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. It's been tough, to even get the half hour in at times. But there's ways like I can actually kind of write through dictation. I've done that plenty of times before. Like even while I'm driving, I've like dictated things to my phone, phones and stuff. I actually get a lot of stuff. I have to go back and like out of it. The dictation on an iPhone. A lot of times it messes up your words. It can be a little bit of a hassle, but it still saves a lot of time. I'd be getting a lot more ready done. And to use that time to listen to, podcasts and things that are helping me, kind of feed my influence and stuff and feed my learning, and all that. But I think, I've learned enough to be able to do with right now. I'm not saying that I'm going to do that. I'm always learning. I love learning every day. I want to learn more. Been my motto for years, and I've always, I love podcasts. I wish I had podcasts all my life, but luckily, the internet has brought us podcasts. For a long, long time, I've been really entrenched in them, and also, now YouTube videos and things like that. So, and audiobooks and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's my thoughts. Also, another thing that I keep thinking about that was encouraging and interesting is I think that video that Jake Parker did, that he inked a whole page in that video, and it doesn't look like it's sped up. It might be sped up, but you can usually tell. Maybe it's sped up slightly, but if it's not sped up, that dude inked a page of his comic book in less than 45 minutes. And there's sufficient detail. Now, his style is a very loose style, in his comics. But I like that. And I'd be almost okay with a style like that. I'm not saying that I'm going to get to that point anytime soon, but it was encouraging to see, is it possible to ink a page in less than 45 minutes, a whole page? I mean, this wasn't the most scaled page you'd ever see either. So, it wasn't crazy. And I think he had the panels all set up, and he had the underdrawing and all that. But so I don't know. That was just an interesting little side note. And I've always been intrigued with people who can work really fast, and I always felt like sometimes we spend too much time and we could get things done faster, especially with comics. We should develop a faster style, if we can. And I'm not saying like I can even do it. I may never be able to. I mean, less than 45 minutes to ink a page just seems ridiculously crazy. But maybe, I mean, I have done that with my other comics actually, but they were all small pages, not like full comic sizes, so I don't know. That's just a little thought. But anyways, that all aside, I'm really excited. I'm really encouraged. I can't wait to work more on the colors for this lizard character, Lizard Brain, and I can't wait to get to more writing. And now I'm at the other job, so I will talk to you guys on the next episode tomorrow, number 29. Almost through a full month, almost getting close to a third of the way done as well. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Marsh Makes Art, everything's there. Oh, I was going to mention, if you did want to support in a way that helps me to get, a Wacom and some of these, I need to get some reinforcements for this computer so I can make it faster because it's really slow. Things like that. if you do anything that you buy from my store will go to that kind of stuff. And also, if you want to pledge to my Patreon, it's patreon.com/marshmakesart. That would be very helpful, and I'd be very appreciative. And all those who do, thank you. And my store is at marshmakesart.com. There's a store link, or I think it's storenvy/marshmakesart. I don't know how there you are. But, there's my other comics there and prints and even some originals and, whatever. If there's anything there, I'd also be open to doing commissions. If anybody's interested, just hit me up. I don't think I have anything listed at the moment as prices, but figure that out. Anyways, I don't want to make this all a big thing about give me money. Whatever you want to do. I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the comments, the feedback, the likes, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. I thank you so much for watching. I can't believe that as many people watch as do. Even though it's like a small amount, but it's still like, who cares about a little? But anyways, thank you so much, and I will talk to you. Peace out.